What up boys, today I bring to you another balance change video because Clash Royale are being very consistent with their balance changes, which is always a good thing for us. Anyways, this is going to be like real quick because I don't really have too much time right now. So, Valkyrie is going to lose 0.2 seconds of her hit speed. It is really ridiculously fast right now. If you remember, this card can fully counter 3 Musketeers by itself now. I don't believe it will be able to anymore as it needs 0.4 or 0.6 seconds, depending if this is on the first hit as well. But essentially, a little bit worse. I think it'll still be meta though, because 0.2 seconds isn't really too game-breaking for it, considering its health and its damage and all of that stuff. It's still quite a good card in my opinion. Anyways, going down to the Aurora Recruits, the damage is going up 12%. Now, this looks small considering how trash that card is, but you gotta remember, right? If you look at all of the changes, 5%, 5%, 9%, but that's pretty big. 12% is pretty big by itself, and then you gotta remember they're a swarm card, right? So there are 6 of these guys, so it's 6 12% buffs to a card that does pretty good damage already. I still think they'll be bad though, just because what they do is not worth 8 elixir, unless they were like the most stupidly overpowered things in the game. But 12% damage I don't think puts them there. Maybe they'll be a very niche card, but generally I don't think they're definitely not gonna be as good as they were, and I don't think they're gonna be a meta card at all. Barbarian Barrel is a very weird one. The elixir cost goes down to the same as a log, which is always good for it. The damage comes down 9%. I think this only changes an interaction with archers, so it no longer one-shots them, but I could be wrong there. The range is now 2 tiles shorter, and it has no knockback. I assume this is no knockback. It could mean on certain troops, but I believe it's just no knockback. Yeah, it's cool. I still don't think it's going to be meta just because it's a spell that doesn't actually damage towers. Like, NATO is a spell that doesn't damage towers, but that manipulates your opponent's units so much. But this just gives you a Barbarian. And, like, Barbarians as troops are pretty bad. Bob Hut is pretty bad. Barbarians are pretty bad, etc. Yeah, I don't think it'll be meta. I still think Log and Zap outclass it. Maybe even Snowball, to be honest. Just, it's at 2 elixir. It's where it needs to be at 2 elixir in my opinion. I think 3 elixir, you don't really want to pay an extra elixir for a barb, but yeah, I still think it's just a little bit too weak. This one I'm really happy about, and people may be like, but it's not meta. Maybe, but if you nerf Valkyrie and Valkyrie's no longer meta, along with Poison possibly, then which becomes the most broken card in this game? It dies to Poison Log, sure, but that's assuming it stays in the Poison for the full 8 seconds. It doesn't die to Fireball Log, which makes like playing 2.6 against Witch the hardest thing in the world. So this now does make it die to Fireball and Log. I have the Reddit thing open here, I've read through these. That is true, it now dies to Fireball Log, which I think it needs to. They wrote on Reddit that they don't want, like, to change the skeletons, because that's the niche of the card, and that's what it does. I can understand that, right? The DPS of it is pretty high, but then get rid of the skeletons, right? It's sort of what the card does, so that's what they want it to do. If that makes sense, that's what they want the card to do, that's what it does. They don't want it to be as spell resistant as it is, though, because people are complaining. It may also be a buff to Fireball if Witch becomes meta, because obviously you can then use the Fireball and Log to actually kill it, opposed to having to run Poison, which is always fun. So Prince is one that, like, a load of people are complaining about, especially on Twitter and Reddit and stuff. If you, like, scroll down here, there's one on Prince. Oh, that's a little bit of lag. There's one on Prince. There's one on Prince. They're pretty much all on Prince and how they think Prince was pretty good already. You could build around Prince, right? If you really wanted to use Prince, you could use Prince. But it's not a card where you go, oh, I need some DPS or sort of like a mini tank, so I'm gonna put a Prince in, right? You'd go for something that's better than it. So I think just 5% is so small. It's, as I said, like 12% is a big buff, but 5% is so small. I don't think it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be fine, and I think the Balance team know what they're doing more than, no offense Reddit, but more than the randoms on Reddit know what they're doing, you know? They've tested this, they've said, right, this is good to go out, and I trust it. I don't see it as a crazy, insane buff. Lightning damage 5%, I think this is also really minuscule. I don't think this is going to bring lightning back into the meta. It might if, like, the meta shifts around playing cards that die to lightning, right? And then people will want to play lightning, but really, I think it needs more than this. I think against like mini tanks and stuff, you lightning a Valkyrie and hit another troop and get the tower damage, but it's still like that Valkyrie is still very usable, and I think that's the problem. It doesn't really shut down too much, and I think lightning will need a little bit more than that. I can't remember the exact statistics on the nerfs it's got previously, and if this is going to take it back up to how it was. I hope so. Lightning is one of the coolest spells because it's so unique, and I really like playing it, and how it kills stuff, you can get such great trades, and yeah, I'm really disappointed that Lightning is still not back in the meta after so long. But maybe this will be it, but in my opinion, probably not. Okay, so this one here is like the biggest disappointment to me. Royal Hogs only losing 0.1 seconds of their hit speed. This is like the best win condition in the game, and that's all they've done? I don't know, maybe there's something I'm missing, maybe there's something they know that we don't, but especially because you've just nerfed Valkyrie, which is like one of the best counters, and it just seems a little bit weird. Yeah, I don't know, it needed more than this. I think they're still going to be insanely strong. I think they're still going to be the best win condition. I'm still going to get mirror hogged in playing mirror mode in clan wars, and I'm going to cry about it. Cannon Cart's range is 0.5 tiles short. That's fine. Cannon Cart's good, right? Cannon Cart's good. If you're going to nerf it, I believe you probably nerf range. Range is a good one. I feel like, again, they know what they're doing more than I know what they're doing, so I'm cool with this. And finally, this doesn't really do anything. Zappy's just hit a bit slower. There is one more thing, though, that isn't on here, and isn't on... wait for it. Isn't on here. And that's this little image here. If we give it a nice little zoom, you can see that level 9 Valkyrie isn't tournament standard, right? And level 9 Witch doesn't exist, unless you use mirror, but who uses mirror? Anyway, I think they're changing the standardization of cards, which I'm a fan of, because at the moment, right, you unlock all cards at level 1, right? Legendaries go to 5, epics go to 8, rares go to 11, and commons go to 13, but at tournament standard, where it's 1, 4, 7, 9, that's where they're all balanced, but some players don't really get this. So if they standardize it, so all cards level 9 in tournament standard, but you unlock your epics and stuff like level 6, I think that would be better for the game. And I'm a fan of this. It's something cool that they've done. Maybe it's all just not true, and maybe this is just, I don't know, maybe they're just playing with us, but I'm a fan of that if it's an actual thing. But yeah, that's balance changes once more. I'll leave you all a poll in the top right where you can vote on how you think they did. I don't think it's going to really change much, but they didn't do anything wrong in my opinion. It's all in the right direction, but sort of ineffective in my opinion. But yeah, that's all. Make sure you vote, and peace.